South Africa's Qualifications Authority is stepping up efforts to strengthen the integrity of academic and skills credentials across the continent. This week, SAQA is hosting a delegation from Angola's National Institute for Educational Assessment and Development for a 4-day benchmarking and capacity building program in Pretoria. The initiative aims to boost regional cooperation, improve the recognition of foreign qualifications, and tackle growing concerns around document fraud and misrepresentation. To discuss what this partnership means for both countries and for the wider African education landscape, we're joined by SAQA's Chief Operating Officer, that's the South Africa's Qualifications Authority Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Makhapa Makhafola. Dr. Makhafola, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Asanda, to you and your viewers, and we really appreciate this opportunity to share with the great audience of South Africa and beyond.
It's our pleasure. Let's start here. What is the main purpose of this 4-day engagement between SAQA and Angola's INADE?
One of our main objectives to start, for the next 5 years, as a current executive, decided that it's going to be Africa first. And because we are the first generation of the national qualification framework in the world, we are the benchmark. We felt that it's important that we really capacitate the continent and really, make sure that we are at the same level in terms of issues around misrepresentation and qualification verification. So what we do, we tend to run in this what we call training capacity workshops, targeting especially around qualification verification and to really try and take the continent with us. And this is part and parcel of our current CEO, is Nadia Starr. She is a TRICA president of what we call Africa Continental Qualification Framework. So as part of that is to ensure that, the continent is with us, because most of the time when we benchmark, when we capacitate, we tend to look outside for people to capacitate us. But as I say, we are the benchmark, and even people outside Europe and other countries, they didn't come to us to learn. So for us, it's more about
Why was
taking
Angola
the continent with us.
identified as a key partner in this kind of capacity building and benchmarking exercise?
We do various countries. We hosted Zambia as well. So this is more around countries within SADC that we're trying to help, because we have what we call SADC qualification framework. So it's mainly trying to make sure that all countries within the region, they are all on the same par. And apart from, they are partnered. We hosted Zambia, we're hosting Angola, and we hosted various countries within from East and West Africa as well.
You touch on trusted quality systems across the continent and the strengthening of these systems. Practically, how does this collaboration help ordinary learners and professionals in both Angola and South Africa?
We are part of the Addis Convention and the Global Convention, and around these issues around mobility for students to be allowed to move between two countries. But for you to do that, you have to make sure that we have a sound quality assurance systems that, as you know, that we have issues around fraudulent qualifications all over the world. It's a global phenomenon, is a global something that we are facing globally. And we feel that in order for us to manage this kind of system, we have to make sure that we work together to really tighten our quality assurance system around verifications, so that we want to share with our colleagues how do we do a verification, which is ours is just more stringent and very strict. As you look at from institutional accreditation to whether the certificate belongs to you is under certificate, that institutions exist as well. So for us, it's to ensure that the system is very credible, and whoever comes into the country or leaves the country, we can be able to verify and say they are indeed from that particular country. And same thing in Angola. And so if they want to come to South Africa, we have to ensure that, whatever the qualification that they claim they have is something that is on their system, and you can be able to verify it.
On qualification fraud, what trends are you seeing as SAQA? We know that this is becoming a serious regional concern. And how is this partnership helping to address these risks around qualification fraud?
In terms of what we see as one of the biggest challenges, of you don't see it anymore, because now we have the Act of Parliament that really supporting SAQA issues around misrepresentation. So if you found to have a fraudulent qualification in South Africa, you can serve up to minimum 5 years in jail. And you've seen some of the cases where people lost their jobs, and some of them they are behind bars. So for us, I mean, how do you minimize this risk is to really understand the the Angolan education system and what does it require someone to obtain that particular qualification, and we'll be able to really understand and have them not only that to really to strengthen the what you call qualification verification system. So by working together to really identify those challenges, we can be able to win on this particular one. But one thing you're asking us as the question that how prevalent these issues around fraudulent qualification. I mean, from our side, we realize that I think that has been minimized since we get I mean, when we discuss, I mean, we're on media discussing some of the issues around fraud and misrepresentation. I think people tend, and if there's a media and there's a policy around it, and people are seen to be, saving some time in jail. I mean, this, tends to for people to really use, their attempt to be able to come into our country with fraudulent qualification. So, I mean, to us, if we work together as a collective, it's the only way that you can minimize. If they understand our system, we understand their system, then it's easy for us to verify whoever is coming from their country or coming to our country. And one thing that we do as well, because we are part of, around the political dispensation, we tend to sign issues around the MOU, so that, the ease of access, the ease of exchange of information become easy. They don't have to wait to go through any other channel.
Right. So we understand that a memorandum of understanding may be signed between SAQA and INADE. What will this help in between the two bodies going forward?
I think the MOU will bring a clear relationship in terms of the focus areas that we need to work around. And the second, in terms of access, as you know, that issues around misrepresentation, qualification verification rely on data. And one of the things that we saw as a challenge as well is issues around the language, because as you know that they speak Portuguese. So I mean those things help us in terms of understanding each other and even interpretation around certain terminology. So the MOU is more around capacitating both staff from SAQA and from India, because we need to work together to really and even allow cross ease of movement between the two countries, where they can host our team down there in terms of capacitating and even working together in joint projects like what I just with you shared with you around the Africa Continental Qualification Framework. As we know, that SADC has the strongest of the framework. So I think most countries within the continent can learn, and we can be able to form a formidable partnership, and that will help in really making sure that the continent, in terms of its qualification, is very credible.
Dr. Makhafola, thanks again for your time. We'll leave it there for today.
Thank you very much, Asanda, and good morning to you, and goodbye.
Thank you. Dr. Makhapa Makhafola is Chief Operating Officer at the South African Qualifications Authority, or SAQA, speaking to us about their partnership with Angola's INADE and the broader push to strengthen the integrity of qualifications across the continent.